You know them, you love them. They're on our couches, in our laps, and pretty much run the internet. We're talking about the house cat. They're probably one of the most familiar animals on the planet, right? But behind those sleepy, judging eyes is an absolute masterpiece of evolution. And I mean, really know them? Sure, you know their favorite sunbeam spot and the crinkle of the treat bag that gets them running. But what about the ancient, wild instincts and the incredible biological secrets they're hiding? Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to peel back the layers of your seemingly ordinary cat to reveal the extraordinary hunter, the super athlete, and the complex companion that's been living with you all along. Okay, first up, their senses. And look, we're not just talking about, oh, they have good hearing. No. We're talking about a suite of abilities that would make a superhero jealous, for real. Let's start with hearing. The world a cat hears is completely different from ours. It's filled with the super high-pitched squeaks of mice and all sorts of other tiny sounds that are just total silence to us. They're basically tuned into a secret radio frequency we can't even access. So how do they hear all that so well? The answer is this number, 32. That's how many muscles are in each of their ears. It lets them swivel 180 degrees, like these little furry radar dishes, to pinpoint exactly where a sound is coming from, without even moving their head. It's wild. And then there's their nose. It is, get this, 14 times more powerful than ours. It's not just for sniffing out dinner, it's how they map their world, identify friends and enemies, and read messages left by other cats. It's like their own personal social media network. And of course, we gotta talk about their night vision. It's legendary for a reason. They can see about 6 times better than we can in the dark. It's all thanks to this special mirror-like layer in their eyes. The only trade-off? Their world's a bit less vibrant than ours, mostly painted in cool shades of blue and green. So all those super senses are packed into a body that is just a marvel of biological engineering. I mean, it is built from the ground up for explosive power, stealthy movement, and, well, for being really, really clean. This number right here, 6, is all about pure power. A cat can jump up to 6 times its own body length from a dead stop. To put that in perspective, that's like an average person jumping clear over a 3-story building. Just think about that for a second. But they're not all action all the time. A huge part of their day, like 30 to 50% of the time they're awake, is spent just grooming themselves. And it's not just vanity. It keeps their temperature regulated, helps them de-stress, and gets our human smell off of them. And here's a fun little fact for you. Ever wonder how a cat cools down? They can't sweat through their skin like we do because of all that fur. So where do they sweat from? Their paws. They sweat right through the pads on their feet. All right, so we've got the super senses, we've got the athletic body, but what about the mind? What's really happening inside that furry little head? Well, the science gives us some pretty fascinating answers. Let's just get right to it and look at the brain itself. A cat's brain has almost double the neurons in the area responsible for problem solving and learning as a dog's brain. That gives them this incredible capacity for memory and figuring things out. And this right here, this probably explains a lot for any cat owner. Research shows they absolutely know their names. Their response, though, yeah, that's optional. It's not them being stubborn, it's just a throwback to how they were domesticated. Dogs were bred to obey, cats basically partnered with us on their own terms. But here's maybe the most profound thing of all. A cat's brain is about 90% structurally similar to our own, and the parts that control emotion, nearly identical. So yeah, when you think your cat is happy or sad or anxious, you're probably right. And we build that emotional connection through a kind of secret language. It's surprisingly complex, and what's really amazing is that part of it was developed pretty much exclusively to talk to us. Here's the craziest part. Adult cats almost never meow at each other. That whole meow, it's a language they invented just for humans. And the purr, it can mean they're happy, sure, but it's also a low-frequency vibration they use to soothe themselves or even help heal. Then you've got nose touches, which are like a friendly handshake. And of course, the tail, which is a total mood ring, up for happy, puffed up for terrified. You know, this unique bond we have isn't some new thing. Our lives have been tangled up with these incredible creatures for thousands and thousands of years, and it's shaped both of our histories. Our story together goes back almost 10,000 years when early farmers realized, hey, these guys are great at catching mice. From there, they've been worshipped as gods, they've been companions, and they've even been astronauts. Shout out to Felicette in 1963. They've lived incredibly long lives, like Cream Puff, who made it to 38 years old, and today they're one of the most beloved pets on the entire planet. And this relationship is definitely not a one-way street. The benefits we get from them are very real. I mean, studies show that just having a cat around can lower your stress and your blood pressure. And remember that healing purr? That specific frequency they use might actually help our bones and muscles repair themselves. So there you have it. We've looked at their built-in superpowers, we've tried to decode their brilliant minds, and we've walked through the 10,000-year journey that brought them from the wild into the very heart of our homes. But for all our love and assassination, our shared story isn't perfect. This number, it represents a pretty harsh reality. Only about 24% of cats that end up in animal shelters ever get adopted. So, after everything we've talked about, knowing about their incredible sensory world, their complex minds, that long history we share, and their very real, very familiar emotional lives, it really just leaves us with one big question. We're the custodians of this 10,000-year-old partnership. So, what's our responsibility to this extraordinary creature now? What role are we going to choose to play in the next chapter of their story?